Thanks very much, and welcome. This is the last one before lunch, so I'll try to make sure that you get to lunch on time. Kasbah Resources, listed on the ASX. We have the Achmmach tin project in Morocco, Northern Africa, southern Spain. Completed the feasibility study and currently have funding underway. We had new board and management at the beginning of 2017 following a failed scheme of arrangement. The company's had the project for 10 years. The project's in the northern part of Morocco near a town of Meknes, 600,000 people. It's all been permitted. It's a joint venture with the Japanese. We have Toyota Tsusho owning 20% of the project, Nitetsu Mining owning 5%. We're looking at an underground mine mining 750,000 tonnes a year to produce 4,500 tonnes of tin in concentrate. Quick corporate snapshot. Our share price today is a cent rather than 1.2 cents. So we're capped at around $11 million. The DFS came up with an NPV of 98 million US. So our share of it is about 98 million Aussie. So you can see that our market cap is significantly less than that. Some good shareholders on the register. Pala have 21%, Lion Africa have 15%. We've got a couple of traders on there, Traxys and Taisaco. So the top 20 own around 62%. I've got a short video which I'll just show you, which will give you some insight on tin and Morocco and the project.
From the Saharan dunes to the peaks of the High Atlas, Morocco's landscapes are timeless. Its ancient traditions of the Berber carpet makers and spice traders continue, alongside a more contemporary Morocco. Modern infrastructure is essential to the country's mainstay industries such as phosphate mining and food production. Morocco is considered Africa's economic gateway to Europe. Its infrastructure is highly developed. Water and energy are low cost, and its politically stable government has established a mining-friendly regulatory environment. The minerals industry is Morocco's largest foreign exchange earner, and it's no secret that the government is seeking to triple revenue from the sector by 2025. Kasbah Resources is listed on the Australian Stock Exchange, and its focus is tin. The company's Achmmach tin project joint venture is located in Morocco's northwest, 140 kilometres from the capital, Rabat. The closest city to the project is Meknes, a modern, bustling city of around 600,000 people. Globally, the Achmmach tin project is one of the most advanced tin projects in a non-conflict safe jurisdiction, with a 15 million tonne JORC resource and 7 million tonnes in reserve. The mine has an initial life of 10 or more years. The ore body, which is open at depth and along strike, will be mined from underground and processed using conventional processing methods. As the third largest greenfield tin resource in the world, Kasbah's Achmmach project is globally significant. The two projects with a bigger resource are either low-grade or in a recognised conflict zone, creating an opportunity for Kasbah to become a preferred, reliable supplier of premium quality tin concentrates. In July 2018, Kasbah completed the project's definitive feasibility study. With a capital cost of $96 million US. The project has a 10-year life, an NPV of $98 million US, and an internal rate of return of 23%. This places the Achmmach project in the lowest quartile of tin producers globally. Funding of the project is now underway, with first production targeted for mid-2020. There is a looming shortfall in tin supply, largely created by traditional suppliers reducing their production as grades reduce and environmental constraints are put in place. There has also been significant underinvestment in tin exploration in the past decade. In this changing environment, supply may not be able to keep up with demand. Tin is a vital ingredient in a wide range of manufacturing sectors. In fact, modern life would be impossible without this versatile metal. The future of tin demand, particularly in the electronics sector, looks set for growth. Tin has replaced lead in a wide range of solders that allow new electronic products to be designed and produced. There is also demand for tin in batteries, semiconductors, photovoltaic cells, and corrosion-resistant steel. With the stepping stones to construction and operation almost all in place, the Kasbah team is on the verge of attaining its goal to be a long-term producer of premium tin concentrates in Morocco. The Achmmach Tin Project joint venture is an exciting build-ready project.
So a little bit on tin. You heard what it gets used for there, but this is a slide produced by Rio and put together by MIT, which shows that tin is the metal most impacted by new technology, primarily through its use as solder. You can see lithium and cobalt and nickel are all there. But tin is the unloved EV metal. A lot of the production in the world is either private or nationalised. There are very few opportunities in the public market to invest in a tin company, and Kasbah is one of those. Interestingly, tin production increased out of Myanmar from nowhere about 5 or 6 years ago to producing 50 or 60,000 tonnes a year. That production has peaked as the easily mined alluvial material has been mined. The total market for tin is around 350,000 tonnes a year, projected here to increase at 1% per year. Last year growth was at 4%. So new supply is required. Where will it come from? Well, there aren't a lot of mines with reserves around the place, or projects with reserves. The Bissi project, Alpha Mins project in the DRC is currently being built, but it's a very challenging location. The Simbayet project is in Kazakhstan and is expecting to have its feasibility completed in the middle of next year. It's low-grade, polymetallic thing, I think will be quite challenging metallurgically. So Achmmach is there as number 3. As I say, it's permitted, the reserves are in place. Stocks of tin in the world are at their almost lowest levels, currently about 4 weeks of production out there, which means that we're not going to suddenly get swamped with tin to reduce the tin price. The tin project that we're talking about, Achmmach, is a joint venture. Over 120 kilometres of drilling has been done to produce the resource and the reserve. All of the resource is probable and measured. There is no inferred resource. And as I say, 7 million tonnes of reserve, sufficient for a 10-year mine life. I just want to talk a little bit about the Japanese joint venture partners that we have. Toyota in particular has an interest in the Orocobra lithium project in Argentina, where they took a 25% stake of the project. They've since taken some stock at the topco level, and they've introduced Japanese funding. And we're working down a similar model with our Japanese partners. We've had Achmmach, the Japanese ECA, on the site recently, doing their due diligence. And this can make a significant difference if you bring Japanese funding into a project like this. The gearing can be as high as 70%, the interest level is low, the tenor of the debt is long, and it almost doubles the returns that you would see on this project to somewhere in the mid-40s. So that's what we're working on at the moment. We expect to see the results of that in December, January, and finalise the funding for this project in the first quarter of next year. The mine is reasonably spread out. It's development intensive, but it's not deep. We'd be looking to use contract miners. The depth of the mine is down to about 500 metres. Processing is typical of a tin plant. We have introduced ore sorting equipment and high-pressure grinding rolls. They make a significant difference to the recoveries and to the capital cost of the project. The feasibility study outcomes you saw, capex of 96 million US, NPV of 98. Lots of upside on the exploration side. We're mining the green trend primarily. It's known as the Meknes trend. You can see it in orange there, but it's open on strike. There is a parallel trend called the Sidiati trend, which is just open all over the place, both along strike and at depth. So we really expect the mine life here to be somewhere between 15 and 20 years. And with that, thank you very much.